Hill, obviously, I said the 4 questions because I was the youngest cousin. All my cousins are older than me. Until, thank God, my brother got old enough and he started the 4 questions. My sister girls never did. Always the boys.
Okay, I would like to bring something up. Before we still have time to kill before the rest of the guests get here. So this will be the last topic.
Okay.
I would like to know about how you two met. What was your first date? Things like that. Who introduced you?
Let's see if her remembrance is the same as mine. Go ahead. Dobson.
I really had a boyfriend who just left. And then my friend,
Be nice, by the way.
I had this friend, Betty Fike, who was an artist of some sort, and we were really good friends. And she was going with someone, a Jewish guy. What was his
Remember,
name?
she was not Jewish, she was from Nebraska. You ever
Yeah.
see Big Bang
Beatrice.
Theory?
Mhm.
Betty Fike was from Nebraska.
And his boyfriend, what was his name?
Joe Levinson,
Joe
who
Levinson.
I went to law school with.
Joe Levinson was a religious Orthodox Jew.
No, he wasn't. His
Yes,
parents.
his parents were religious Orthodox, and he loved Betty Fike, and he would marry her because of
His mother was the Rebbitzin of Englewood.
Englewood. And because Betty really loved him, she thought for sure to make him happy, she would introduce him to me. But he never liked me.
But what happened?
It just didn't work out. He still, and you know that he never married anyone else, and he's still waiting for Betty.
Well, the first
And then Joe Levinson had David, and I guess
we went to Jones Beach.
He
It
was
Jones.
just there, so
I went with Joe because I was always going with Joe, and we went to Jones Beach. And as Grandma says, they never connected, but I connected. So I started to go out with
You
Grandma.
met at Jones Beach.
Huh?
You met
At Jones Beach. That's where Betty was going to introduce Joe to.
And you were how old?
I was probably 1952. So I was 24, 1928.
the first girl he ever met was me.
And where was your first date?
I think Lewiston Stadium.
Oh yeah.
Now remember, Grandma lived in Brooklyn. I lived in the Bronx. I didn't have a car, but it was safe. So we met. There was a place called Lewiston Stadium,
It was
which is
called
an open
NYU.
air stadium at City College, and during the summer they had
Concert.
concerts.
And
So
we
I met her
listened to,
there.
and
And
we
was
listened to
Mendelssohn Violin.
Mendelssohn Violin Concerto by Zeno Francescatti, and it was just.
How do you meet? Where did you plan? How did you call on a phone and say I'm
We
gonna
didn't have
meet?
a phone.
So what did you do? You wrote a letter and say
No,
I'm gonna
no.
meet you,
Didn't they call you down from
They
the
called
candy
me from
store?
the candy store.
I had a telephone,
and you called the candy store,
and they would bring down Dorothy.
and you met her at her house. And then you
No,
went
I never
together.
went to Brooklyn. I would meet in Manhattan if we went out.
For that first.
But as we started to go
I
more and more.
worked, remember, and he would meet me after work. I worked on 40.
Were you attracted by her money?
Yeah.
What?
yeah.
He was
Also,
attracted because I was a girl.
also, you remember when one of her bosses gave a ticket for the New York
I had a
Philharmonic?
great boss. He was, Schwab, what's his name?
Who? They don't know. And the concert was
Who's
at the
coming?
New York Philharmonic with Igor Stravinsky,
Who?
the composer,
Stravinsky.
and he conducted
I
it.
had a great boss who had season's tickets to Carnegie Hall, the first row, and I was his secretary, and he knew I liked music, and he'd always give it to me.
All right. Where did we last?
Whose
leave?
idea was this? Yours?
It was started because we saw that Grandma Ruth had interviewed Herman
Yeah.
and
Oh.
Greta,
Oh,
and we
nice.
watched it, and we said we should probably do this.
Okay, very good.
And it's also a website on television.
What website?
They gave you a website where you could,
Oh, Ancestry.com. So where did we? Well, we were leaving off. You guys met at
Jones Beach.
Jones Beach was the first time,
right.
and
The first date you mentioned,
right, and then the first date was at City College,
Lewiston Stadium,
Lewiston Stadium, and you heard Mendelssohn.
right, violin concerto.
That's a good opera. I mean, a good symphony. And then what did you do? After the concert, after the symphony, what did you do?
I think you took the train home and I took the train.
You guys said goodbye at the train station.
No, let's see, the City's College, yeah, we went to 145th Street, right? So each one went our separate ways.
It's a long trip home.
And when did you were what year was that?
July 1952.
And so 52.
No, we met in July 52, so we must have, sometime in the summer 50, so it must have been sometime in the summer was an open air concert.
Okay.
So that
Sometime-
I
Go
guess-
to Lewiston Stadium? Did you ever go to Lewiston Stadium?
Yeah, that's what we were talking about.
We saw Mendelssohn's Violin by Zeno Franceschetti.
Oh, I went with my husband when we were married. We went a couple of times. My
Well,
mother
Is it
told
still
me-
around today?
No, no.
My mother and father
It was
used
the-
to go there.
are we
when
on
they
there?
were
I don't
there.
know what happened.
Don't worry
Sorry,
about it. Don't worry about it.
Yankee Stadium.
Lewiston Stadium was the worst,
Where you going?
was the worst place to play football because it had rocks in it, I swear to God. But the main court was lacrosse, because the manager, coach of the team was Indian, Chief Bender.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
So that was 52 when you first met,
Yes,
and then when did you end up getting married?
November 1953.
So you guys, within 16 months or so, you guys were married.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
Is
You know
that
why? Because everybody else was married.
everybody was getting married?
Take your finger around that.
Was it so? How did you propose to her?
I really don't remember.
My
honest.
friends are getting married. They were all married, so I
So
guess
you
we-
guys, was it a joint agreement that
Well,
you said, "Oh, we're getting married"?
I don't remember. The only thing I do remember is after we got engaged, they had a party, a little party at her where she worked, UM&M,
Oh, yeah.
and that was I guess the first time or second time in my life that he ever got drunk. Because what happened is, they had little Scott, and I didn't want to embarrass her that they would think he's such a jerk, he doesn't even take a drink. So I had a couple of drinks, and I never had alcohol, I never had since then. And I got a little drunk, and I remember Grandma had to take me back on the train to go back to the Bronx because I was really drunk.
Where was the engagement party?
We didn't have any.
You said you had a
At
little
my
party.
house.
Oh, at your house.
What did you say?
And when he walked in, he saw my first cousin, who was the bookie of.
At City College.
And you knew him.
I said, Jerry, what are you doing here? If
Jerry
so,
Lieberman.
Okay. Now tell me. So all right. So
I
what
just
about-
wanted to mention
Yeah.
that after a while, obviously, I would take Grandma home, on the train. And sometimes, Saturday night, by the time I left the train, left to go home from the Brooklyn to the Bronx, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. But I would sleep on the train, literally, fall asleep because I knew it was safe.
Try that now. He'd be
So,
dead.
but now it's, so what happened years later, when Uncle Richie went to Manhattan College, he would take the train, he'd go to Flushing with, where he saw Linda, and then he would take the train into 42nd Street, and then take the subway all the way up to Manhattan College. That was the last stop. So I once said to him, gee, Rich, it's great. You go to sleep, at the end of the line, they'll always wake you up. So he looked at me and he said, are you crazy, Dad? You don't sleep on a train nowadays. It's not safe. And just the difference in terms of my generation and his, in terms of safety in New York.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know. That was a big
Guns, marijuana.
drugs.
Drugs, Mason. And also the population has changed.
It's bigger.
No, more Latinos, blacks.
But you see what happened is
In those
afterwards.
days, everyone was white.
Right.
But I don't think that was. I think what happened is They were not strong, like Giuliani came in and Bloomberg, and now they're safe again.
They're not safe.
Yes, they are. Okay.
You don't sleep on the train, but it's safer.
Yeah.
There's still crime in the city.
Not as compared to what it was. It's way down.
When so, the next step would be telling me about your wedding day a little bit and what, you know, were you excited about it? What was
He
going
lived in the
through your-
Bronx, I lived in Brooklyn. They had to schlep all the way home to Brooklyn to go to the wedding, and nothing memorable really. We got
David, what high
married.
school did you go to? What high school did you go to?
I went to Thomas Jefferson.
Oh, you come from
Sorry.
Brooklyn.
Yeah,
Grandma, Grandpa, I'm leaving.
Where you going?
I love you.
to see
Yeah.
Kara.
Yeah.
Where you going?
He has a girlfriend now.
Well,
He
where do you what
Don't forget the
geographic-
tickets for the ballet.
Show him the picture as of you with Karen?
I did.
Oh my
Kara!
God! They've been dating for 3.5 months.
Yeah, when our friends are when our grandkids are watching this in 70 years, and my actual wife is gonna be like, "Who the hell is Kara?"
How can you say that?
How
Yes,
I
well, that
love
was a slip of the tongue.
I love you.
Where you going to Jericho?
You know who you sound like?
Who?
Matthew. Today it's Melissa, yesterday was Sarah.
tomorrow?
Okay, let's go. Come on,
Yeah.
Dorothy.
So
let's
tell
go.
me about. So what do you remember about the wedding?
Yes, I remember we hired a car for the first time in my life
To get to Brooklyn.
to get to Brooklyn.
It was at a
It
shul.
was the wedding was at the Hopkinson Manor.
Hopkinton Manor.
Yeah, on
now
Hopkinson
a
Avenue
church.
in the Brownsville.
Yeah.
Now it's yours.
That's right. That was
And he
true.
wore a top hat.
Oh, yeah,
Um,
what that?
At weddings, of course. My husband did too.
You're in the
Top
way.
You're in the.
You're in
Oh,
There's a
I'm
vid-
sorry.
A top hat and tails.
It's okay,
No,
fellas.
I
Don't
didn't.
worry.
No.
This is. We could edit it.
Nothing
So you wore a top hat,
Yeah.
like Lincoln.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes.
And tails.
And who was the best man?
My friend Joe Levinson.
The one who I was supposed to marry.
Yeah.
That's right.
Anybody never married another a girl, right? Because who is the maid of honor?
What's it, my sister? No.
Who did?
You don't remember?
know yet.
Yes.
What?
Where you going?
What?
It's not funny how
Was there
you-
a party at all afterwards,
same
or
thing.
Like a reception, yeah.
Yeah.
only not as schmaltzy or not as big.
Wait.
And the biggest present we got was $5.
Well, that back then was a. Was there any? Were your parents both okay with it? Was anybody unhappy with the wedding, with the marriage?
I don't think they were madly in love with each other. Of course, one was came from Galiciana, whatever, Galicia. My mother was, what would you call her? A Litvak.
I'll live there.
So the personalities were.
But technically it was an intermarriage.
Yeah.
Oh, I think you did not ask me about my bar mitzvah.
I didn't. Tell me about it.
Well, my bar mitzvah was in a small
Yeah.
shul, and after and I read the Haftarah, with Shabbos Agudo,
Get out of here.
my Haftarah,
What time?
and after they threw candy at you.
Jay, shut up. Yeah, I'm listening.
I threw candy at you, and then afterwards, I think we all trekked up to our apartment, and then we had a little party in the apartment.
In the apartment.
In the apartment. I guess all the food was made by my mother and my aunt.
Right. Okay.
And you got a fountain
It
pen, literally.
Yeah.
I guess so.
Do you still have it?
I don't think so.
It was nothing like this. I don't know how it escalated into what it is. I really don't know. And then we went to Bermuda on our honeymoon.
You went to Bermuda.
Yeah.
And
Did you fly? Obviously.
Of course
I
we.
didn't walk.
Was that the only?
No, I took my motorcycle.
You took. How? So how was that?
That was I guess
The
the
very
first.
first day we were there, they asked if we wanted to sing as a couple, and it was Herb and Elaine, and they were our best friends forever and ever and ever, and we were friends until they both died. I loved them.
Herb was a lawyer also,
Herb J. Lip.
and Herb Lip, And her parents were fairly wealthy. They lived on the Grand Concourse in the Bronx, which at that time was, you know, very rich. And Herb eventually became one of the a judge in Nassau County. But he was such a what's the word I'm thinking of? A mensch, a real nice
I'll
person.
always remember them. First day we met them.
And you met him in Bermuda.
On
And-
the first day we sat down at the table, the maitre d' said, would you like to sit at another young couple? And turned out to be my very best, closest friends.
Just
How long did you stay in Bermuda for?
a week, I guess.
Until our money ran out from the wedding.
And don't you remember who came that day?
And the Queen came.
Queen Elizabeth came visiting Bermuda.
Well, you were there?
And we watched her as she passed by. And as we left, they were preparing for a conference between Eisenhower and the British Prime Minister.
In Bermuda?
In Bermuda.
So how was the, what did the Queen, you actually saw her? in
Yeah, we saw
person?
her.
The young Queen.
How was she beautiful?
I
She
think
was-
now she's 80. How old is she?
Oh, she's older than us, I
Not
think.
much older.
Not much
Um,
older.
She came with, what's her name, Philip.
Nope, here, I want it. And
They
so...
were sitting in the open car and
Oh, yeah.
Oh
And,
yeah, Philip was still, okay.
and Herb Lip, as the attorney, handled both of the adoptions for Richard and Robin, you know.
and he was the
Yeah, he can, and he.
Where was he from? He's from New York somewhere?
yeah.
Yeah, he's from
And he officiated Robin and Anthony's wedding.
Did he?
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, you didn't go.
I was there at the Huntington Townhouse.
yeah.
Oh, you were
Beautiful
there?
wedding, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Herb Lip was the, I guess, judge.
I caught the, what's the thing that the girl throws?
The bouquet.
No, the guy throws the
Yeah.
bustier,
Garter.
the garter.
So what good did it do? You still
It didn't do me any good, right?
Well, what's he saying? No.
So you went to Bermuda, you came back from Bermuda, and then where were you living?
In the parking building, tenement in the Bronx.
You moved to the Bronx.
In Sherman Avenue in the Bronx, we lived there.
Were you a lawyer at this time yet, or were you still in school?
No, he was a law.
Were you a lawyer at this time, or were you still in school?
Let's see, I graduated in '51. I failed the bar. I became a lawyer in 1952, and for a year or two, I had private practice with my friend Joe and another friend Gil Harwood,
Which didn't
but
work out.
which didn't work out. So I then
Went to Mason.
worked for I worked for a
Master.
single practitioner, and then I worked for another law firm, then another law firm, and then I worked for at Macy's in 1968.
Until
Huh?
you worked from '68 until when at Macy's?
1994.
It's almost 30 years.
Yeah, 26 years.
A 30 parades after.
Oh, so we lived in the apartment for 2 years.
So for 2 years in the Bronx,
Yeah.
in the
That's
tenement.
where we moved to.
And where did you move after that?
Everybody moved away, so we moved away.
Yeah, at this point, so tell me a little bit about how everybody started moving out to the island and what was that like
Well,
and why?
my friends started to have babies and children. The apartments were too small, and somehow they had saved up money, and they bought a little house. Only we bought a condominium
A co-op apartment
where your mother was born.
And where?
in Queens Hilltop Village, Francis Lewis Boulevard and Hillside Avenue.
And that's where I met most someone like that. That's where we go.
Dorothy, speak loudly.
Yeah.
Nobody
So,
hears you.
so at this point, Grandma, you had my mom. At what point after you moved to the co-op?
Yes.
No, I think I became pregnant in the Bronx. Right?
No, we moved in 1950.
No, I was pregnant because that's how I met little Adele. Yeah.
Yes, in Hilltop, not in the Bronx.
No, when I moved to Hilltop, we were pregnant.
No, you're not. We moved in 1955. We were married 2 years, and Ellen was born in 1957.
You mean I didn't have any friends in Hilltop at 50 when we moved here in 52?
We moved there in 1957, 55, and you gave birth in 1957, right?
I think when I moved in, I was pregnant.
Dorothy, it's impossible
It's
physically.
impossible.
Yeah,
Yes.
maybe.
Okay.
Who is Adele?
Well,
All my closest friends. Adele or Loretta, you met Loretta?
Yeah, I met Loretta. Where
and
did you
there was
guys meet?
Somebody and
We
Sarah.
were all pregnant at the same time, and Sarah. Remember Sarah?
No, they don't. What happened was very funny. I became secretary of the co-op board.
Because he wanted them to get clients, and he was.
I figured I'd get clients.
Good.
Never did. But what happened is, this new couple moved in, and I always delivered the stock certificate to them. So I go upstairs, and they open the door, and this woman opens the door, and I saw she's pregnant. Yeah, so I start talking to her. I said, by the way, my wife's also pregnant. And then, of course, they became very close friends, and she gave birth to a daughter named Lisa. In
You know,
fact,
your mother still talks to Lisa.
your mother is now, emails me, and Mom, Ellen was born 2 days later.
Oh, they were that close.
Yeah, that close. And
They're still friends.
Unbelievable.
Your mother and Lisa are still friends. You
And-
know that?
And I always used to call Lisa my second favorite girl until obviously all my grandchildren were born.
Did
And then Lisa, Ellen's close friend, had twin boys the day that Ezra was born. The exact day.
Oh yeah, that's right.
March 27th is quite a day. Did so when you moved into this new co-op, how long did you stay there for? When did you move to Plainview?
We moved when everyone started to move because there was one black person in there who went to the school, who went to public. Isn't that amazing?
But you weren't going to
No,
public school
wait
at
a
this
second.
point.
When Ellen went to public school,
But that wasn't the real reason.
Yes.
Because Richard was then born in 19.
that's not true. We all moved because the school we felt was.
I started 6th grade in Plainview, so we moved the summer
So
before, right when I was turning
Richard was born in
12.
1963, and I think they shared a room. We put a divider.
That wasn't it. We moved because the school was.
All right, what's the
would be
difference?
black.
Then we moved in 1968.
The good old
68. So you were in Queens for that co-op for about 10 years, 13 years.
13 years, yeah. 11 years, 57, 68.
It's
And as
amazing
a,
how as soon as you see one black person come into school, everyone.
That was it. And what school did she go to in kindergarten and
PS 135.
PS 135?
35. And
With this, so even then, between that your generation of you guys going to school and her going to school, it was starting to become more diverse
Yeah.
communities.
yeah, because right across the street from Hilltop Village, which was a co-op, was an apartment development called Cunningham Heights. And what happened is the city were putting in welfare people in Cunningham Heights because Cunningham Heights was not renting. So the whole demographic area started to change.
And that's how it went.
Now, so tell me about, was this like a big change, welfare? Was they always around, or when did that start?
We had the welfare when I lived on Herschel Street, only it wasn't called welfare, it was called relief,
Relief.
Home relief.
home relief. A lot of people were on home relief. And on Herschel Street, if you didn't pay your rent, they would actually put your furniture on the street. And a lot of people were home relief. And that's the way it was.
So, you then, tell me a little bit about the new neighborhood then in Queens before you moved to Plainview. What
In
was
Queens,
that?
in
Yeah,
Hilltop?
in Hilltop.
It was like us.
Was it not tenements anymore, or was?
No. These were tall apartment buildings, 6, 7 floors, and they were very well kept, very nice,
Elevators,
and
playgrounds, very nice.
very nice.
And people were like us. Husbands were attorneys, whatever they were. Women stayed home.
It's still
Women
mostly.
stayed home!
Was it still mostly Jewish?
Yes.
Yeah, Hilltop is.
And everyone stayed home with their babies in the car. No nannies.
No nannies.
No.
No.
And Grandpa, at this time you were. When did you start at Macy's? 68, you said.
68, actually.
Oh, so did that have something to do when you moved to Plainview?
No,
You
no,
got
actually,
the job
I
and
got,
moved to Plainview, or
we
you moved to
moved in
Plainview?
June, and I started in Macy's in December. I was working at a law firm, a very prestigious law firm, but the problem was I was stationed at one of their clients, a real estate company. In fact, they opened shopping centers in Wisconsin and Lexington, Kentucky, and I went to Lexington, Kentucky for the opening. Very nice. But what happened is that real estate company went bad, and the question was, could I go downtown to
Well, you never made partner, that's why you left.
No, Dorothy, you're not listening. Dorothy, I was at Strook, then I went to Parker
Oh, then you went to Parker.
Chapin.
I'm glad
So the question was, so I decided not to go. Well, oh, you're right, I apologize. I was at Parker Chapin first, right. And I left Parker, right, she's
It
right.
doesn't matter.
Yeah, because I didn't become partner, so, right, okay.
If you didn't make partner.
How did you pick out the house in Plainview? Did you have a realtor? How did you figure it out?
My friend lived down the block.
Yeah, we had a friend live right around the corner and told us about the house.
Did you
31,500.
31,500?
Right.
And you took out a mortgage?
Of course.
The house originally sold for 17,000,
So,
and we sold it for 350.
did you have did you have like a housewarming party? Did
No.
everybody come? No.
No, you just moved in and that's it.
That's it. What about furniture? You
I-
bought furniture. Did you have a
We
lot
still
of
have the
furniture?
bedroom set.
Still to this day?
Yeah.
She even
What was
bought
the
it.
difference like living in Plainview versus Queens? Did
It
you
was
like
bigger.
it? It was bigger. You had grass.
Oh yeah, we had a nice backyard.
It was just bigger. And more money.
And you mentioned housewarming. The only funny thing happened, the first year we were there on Rosh Hashanah, one of
Oh,
the...
David.
What, Dorothy?
That
Talk
goes-
over her.
One of the neighbors had a party on Rosh Hashanah after shul, and the next year, somebody said, oh, who's going to have the party this year? And so Grandma says, I'll have it. And of course, for the next 20 years, we had the party.
Ask Ellen, your mother, about that.
And we were never rained out.
Never rained out.
You had outdoor party.
Outdoor
Yeah.
party, all the neighbors would come, and Ellen's friends would come, and then
It's
years
just
later,
great.
Richard's friends would come, and then as the years went on, then Robin's friends would come. So it was really very nice.
Did you have a car at this point?
I didn't have a car until
Ellen was
1957, I
Ellen
guess,
was
when
born.
Ellen was born.
Oh yeah. So okay.
After she was born. I
After
didn't have a car before.
Um.
And then right before we moved, my car was stolen. So I had to get another car, which I hated.
Did you ever find out who stole it?
No.
Did you and when did you decide to adopt Uncle Richie?
When
You
Ellen
said-
was 5.
You said we want to have another kid.
It was too much trouble trying to have one. Too many tests, too much money, and it was very easy to adopt. And then what's his name? Our friend, Herb Lip, just knew about everybody. So, and he just adopted a baby too. So he just knew everyone. He knew the right people to go to, where to go, and how to get it. And he found Richie for us.
How is Ellen as an older sister?
Well, she was 5 and Richie was born. She was good. She was no trouble. They really weren't. They never fought like you.
Well, boy and girl never fight.
And he was very protective, brother Richie. He would kill for her. He really would.
Oh, you remember the time when we were still in the Hilltop, and it was snowing, and some kids were trying to throw snowballs at Ellen.
He
And
almost killed them.
she was 11 and he was 5 or 6, and he started running to both these kids and beating them up because you can't do that to his sister. He really.
He always admired Ellen. He really
Yeah.
loved her.
The kids.
And the only problem in school, that when he followed Ellen, and they would always say, "You're Ellen's brother, right?"
And of course, your mother was, was one of the brightest kids. And Richie was not dumb, but he was lazy, you know what I mean? So everybody would say, "You're Ellen's brother?" And they would look at him skeptically, But he's not dumb. He really is bright once he put his mind to it.
So in Plainview, when did Robin come along?
When
1970. Ellen was 13.
1970, and so Richie was 7 years older than Robin.
Yeah. That's 7
She's
years.
going to be 50.
Richie?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Is he still? Do you think he would still beat up somebody who was throwing
Yes,
snowballs at
absolutely.
Ellen?
Absolutely.
I remember once.
He would.
I think it was with Robin. We went to one of these agencies, for adoption, and we only had Ellen, and we go to this adoption agency. They're asking these stupid questions, and they said, "Well, you already have one child, but we want another one." And they said, "Oh, have you told your daughter yet about adopting you?" I said, "When we feel it's ready, we'll tell her." Of course, obviously we told them, but they were so, what's the word I'm thinking of?
I remember that.
I remember going to one of those Spence Chapin, and they was so bureaucratic. They had certain rules, you know what I mean?
Well, they want to protect the child.
Yeah, so.
Anyway, here we are. We're here. We made it.
Richard was a private adoption, so, whereas Robin was adopted through the Nassau County
Social service.
Social Services.
Where did what's her name go?
And they were both just young. They were
Babies.
babies, just babies.
Oh, babies. Richie was
Where
only.
did you get the name Richard from?
I don't know. The same place you got Alexander from.
I don't remember.
What about Barbie?
Where's Barbie?
I don't know where that came from.
And that was before the Barbie doll. I want you to know
was?
that. It was not named there because it's
I
B-A-R.
think it must have been someone named Bathsheba in my
Yes.
family. I don't know who it was.
Jeff Bathsheba, right.
Sheba.
Because it's spelled B-A-R-B-Y, not B-A-R-B-I.
Tell them, so now that all the kids are around in Plainview, tell me some stories about any of them getting in trouble or some
No one.
schools.
Richard got.
Only Richard. Richie never showed up in school.
What was he doing?
They used to call me, Mrs. Stopsky. I said, yes. Where is Richard? I said, I don't know. I sent him to school. I don't know where he is.
You never told. I didn't know that.
Well, you were working.
Oh.
I don't know where he went.
You still to this day? Where'd he go?
I don't know.
Did he have a lot of friends?
The wrong friends.
Yeah.
Until he met Linda. Linda straightened him in. Really,
Linda really weaned him away from his friends.
I don't know what they. I don't know.
You don't know.
I don't know what was really wrong with them. They weren't interested in school. They was hanging out. I don't know if they drank, but he went on the wrong track. Then he met Linda, and boy, did he change.
He became a match.
He met Linda when? 15, 14?
Oh, they were school sweethearts in school.
And-
They were called Mr. and Mrs. Plainview in the yearbook.
Yeah?
Yeah.
As soon as he met Linda, the friends just left, and
That
he basically was good. Hated Hebrew school. He used to come home from Hebrew school, take his shoe, and one day he kicked it so far that he broke the glass in the patio window.
Because he was so upset about
How about the hole in the cellar door?
And he was always spitting out the window, the rabbi said. And
Well-
my mother would say, Echezach, don't worry. Someday he's gonna be a big man, my Shannon Prince. She loved him.
Of course, my mother-in-law
Let's
started,
go. You wanna go home?
my
No.
mother-in-law, grandma's mother, came to live with us, I guess, I can't remember, well, about in 1976, 77, 78, something like that. And really was the best thing that ever happened to the
You
kids.
go home.
When she
It
when
was-
when her mom moved in.
Yeah.
Yes, because I first of all, Richard just adored her, and he really became different in terms of treating older people. He really learned.
I know, it's a wonderful thing to have a grandma live with you, whether or not you
So it was
like it.
mature. He became more mature. And,
Yeah,
and more
he would
respectful.
he would lay in his bed, and Grandma Esther would come and give him a massage.
No, well, she was a, not everyone could be like my mother.
She was a wonderful woman.
lady.
And she cooked. Oh, did she cook?
It's different nowadays. You don't know what it's like to live with elderly, people at home.
I wouldn't mind it. I don't
I mean,
think.
your mother was always working. I was always home, and if I wasn't home, she was home. So it was really different.
Did now what? Tell me about when my mom tell the story about her valedictorian or salutatorian. She was
Lovely.
yeah. What's the story?
But the story was always they picked the salutatorian from the grades in January. Okay, she had the highest grades. Then for some reason they decided to do it in June, and the young man who became the salutatorian was the son of one of the teachers, and in the yearbook they call him Mr. Brown, Brown Nose.
Oh,
So I wrote a nice letter. I wrote a letter to the school board. I said, you always had it in January, and everybody, all the neighbors and all the friends, think Ellen is going to be the salutatorian because
Well,
everybody knows
valedictorian.
valedictorian because everybody knows she has the highest grades. And I seen, why are you?
I don't know about you, but I get so tired when I get home.
I usually take a nap.
Mid-afternoon nap.
Because I get up at 4:30.
Oh,
Is that crazy?
get up with the roosters.
Okay.
did you guys ever go on vacation as a
Of course.
family? Where'd you go?
But wait a second. Tell me about the bungalow town first.
Yeah, tell me.
Oh, every summer because we lived in, on concrete. And no grass or trees. We used to go to bungalow colony. Which to this day, ask your mother, is the greatest thing in the entire world.
Where was the bungalow colony?
In the
In
Catskills.
the mountains.
In the mountains.
Why is it called a bungalow? What's a
Because
bungalow?
that's what it was, a little room, a bungalow. One room, maybe two, and a bathroom.
Was it near the lake? Was there water? What?
No, it was just a little place to go where the wives stayed, the husbands went home, we were all together next to each other. We had a casino where we played cards at night, we had a pool, and the kids played all day. What could be bad? And it was cheap.
Um,
It was very nice.
We
Did you
went-
when your mother took you to Swan Lake once to see it? Remember?
We went there
Did you ever go?
until we moved until we bought a house in
We went to a
Plainview.
hotel.
You used to go.
We used to go, and
Dorothy.
we went with our friends Sarah, Loretta, and Dell.
The husbands went home and we stayed there all week with the kids. It was very nice.
And on the weekends, all the husbands would come up.
Did so mom was an amazing. She was this best student
Yeah,
in
she
high
was.
school. Did Uncle Richie or Robin? Did you think they felt any pressure?
Only
having
Richard.
Mama?
Robin was very smart. He's just smarter than your mother.
She does the Rubik's the cube in 30.
Robin has something, I don't know what it is, innate. She's just, she really is.
I think
Very
your
smart.
mother is bright, but your mother is much more organized than anybody else in terms of studying. She would know when to study, how much to study. And she always did. I mean, she obviously was smart. But Robin, I think, is,
An innate ability, she very bright.
yeah, she really is. And Richard just lazy.
Was lazy.
He was lazy, of course.
Not anymore.
No,
No, not anymore. But when he, at Manhattan Colleges last year, when he knew he was getting married, he started getting A's and B's because he, you know,
And he also went to law school, you know.
he went.
Where did he go to law school?
St. John's.
He went to law school at night. He thought it might help him in his.
He wanted to be a patent lawyer.
What did you think of Jay when you met him?
A nice boy.
What did you really
He
think?
really, no, I have to admit, he was really a nice.
Yes,
young man.
very impressed with his family, very impressed with Ruth and Lyle, and Uma, and what's her name?
And we loved his.
Yeah.
Herman?
Apparently, they met in medical school. And I remember the first time we met him, if I recall, is on a Rosh Hashanah when your grandfather,
Herman
your great Herman,
Opa, yeah.
took him home. No,
drove him
Herman.
home, and he dropped Ellen at our house, and then
Herman.
Herman.
Yeah, very nice, very nice people, really were. And so was Ruth and Lyle. Really loved them right from the beginning. And Ruth's comment was, when she saw me, thank God someone shorter than me.
And your mother determined that it was 6 miles from our house to your grandparents' house because she ran it and had one of those things on it.
In South Huntington.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
They really are nice
What about-
people, very nice.
See,
Alex, Anthony.
oh, yeah. So yeah, tell me also about meeting Anthony's family and
Different.
a little different scenario.
Yeah.
When did you guys first meet?
We went up to
Winchester.
Winchester, has 3 people in it.
And what was your impression?
Wheat fields all over. Really very nice, just different, very nice. Very
Yeah,
warm,
Anthony.
very nice. And she, his mother's a very bright woman, she's a collector. She has things in her house that you couldn't possibly buy.
Old.
But they were typical middle Americans, really typical.
His mother
We
is
had
a
never met
collector.
people like
She
that.
has things
Really,
that
you know,
have
in New
never
York,
seen
Right.
before in
and
the
they're
house.
just
From dogs to
typical
clocks,
middle American
to,
people.
chess sets.
And the town they
all
lived
over
in
the
was
house.
so
It's like you
small.
walk into a
Dorothy,
museum. Yeah,
Okay.
nice people.
What about Anthony? Did you like him?
yes.
Yeah, right off the bat. We once took him to lunch when we met Robin in Michigan,
Yeah.
and he wanted to pay his share of the lunch. I said, that's the boy. Very nice. He
I think
really
it was the Olive Garden, I think.
No, in Michigan. He was really, I liked him right from the beginning. Very low.
Linda.
Boy, did he change.
What do you
In
mean?
what sense?
He got louder, more vocal. Now we have to get Ethan to do that.
Right, he used to be quick. Even when I would know him, he used to be more quiet.
Yeah, now we have to get Ethan on the move.
But Ethan's starting, I noticed. He's starting to talk more, tell about things, yeah. I think so.
Very nice young man, really very
What was? Did you stay in Winchester?
Yeah.
In the
We stayed at a motel
We had one
nearby.
hotel in Winchester.
What a town.
What is there? What? Tell me about the town just a
Wheat
little bit.
fields, all you see is wheat fields.
There's nothing there.
No, not wheat, I guess corn. Wheat or corn.
You can walk through the main town in 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
And they had one factory that everybody worked at night and day.
That's where his father worked.
I haven't.
A glass company,
They
Pittsburgh.
had the, do you know those, that you can food in? The
Yep.
glass jars?
Mason jars.
Mason jars, they made mason jars. The entire population worked. She worked, his mother worked the day shift. When she came home, the father worked the night shift. And that's how they took care of 3 boys and raised very lovely boys.
He had 3 boys. So he has 2 brothers, Anthony.
Yeah, 2 other brothers.
And what about Linda's parents?
Oh, you have to like the Gracianos. How can you not like them?
That was different too, right? That
Well,
must have
of
been
course,
totally
you know,
different.
they knew each other in school, and
You
obviously,
have to like Joe and Paul.
yeah.
Did they live in Plainview too?
Oh yeah, they
2
lived
blocks
in,
away.
Richard used to go there, One time, he went to Linda and we got a call from the police that he had been in an accident. He apparently swerved on a cold, what do they call the cold?
Black ice?
Black ice. So I ran out there, and the first thing I asked the cop, I said, was he drunk? And he said, oh, no. He said, I think what happened, he swerved on the black ice. So at that point, originally I'm going to be angry, but I can understand, you know what I mean? I
Very
understood
nice.
what happened.
Anyway, we were lucky.
Did where did they get married, Linda and Rich?
Oh, the fanciest place in America, at a country club.
North Hills Country Club. Oh, very nice.
How was it a lot? Was there the whole side was Italian? Her
Like you've
her
never
family.
seen, yeah. You have never seen a wedding like that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Tell me about it a little bit.
40 million people, $9,000 worth. It was just beautiful. Absolutely.
Was it a Jewish ceremony?
It was a minister and a
It was a priest and a rabbi.
A priest and a rabbi, excuse me, not a minister.
So it was both.
Yeah. I wasn't happy. We originally weren't happy with it.
Got used to it.
But, we said to ourselves, we didn't want to make him unhappy in life.
I don't know, it just worked out. Just forget it.
Well, you have to.
It worked.
Tell the story.
I don't know, there isn't
No,
any.
I'm talking to Grandpa.
He doesn't know. It just worked out. He was for it, I was against it. We fought our way through life and then married. We were happy.
What describes
sense of talking
the
about
what it was like to have your first grandchild, and what was his name?
Alex.
Alexander, right? Was he the best grandchild of?
We refused to answer on the grounds it may incriminate you.
I have one friend who I sit with sometimes at the movies, and she constantly tells me, and now I'm really getting annoyed with her, my favorite, my best is my first. And I've told her now I'm really telling over and over again, why do you say that? She says, isn't your first the best? And I say no, and she won't give in. Her first is the best.
What was it like? Did you like that your grandson? What was?
Oh, it's wonderful.
Yeah, my brother, what's the name, came from China.
Who did?
Grandpa Maria.
It was in China.
But
Yeah.
they were in China, and they came back about 2 weeks before,
I
right?
don't know, right before you were born. And they came, it was really nice to see them. And my brother came, because he worked at the hospital, and there you were. It really was fun.
That's where the red tie comes from. Maya brought it from
China?
China.
Yeah, I knew that.
Huh? You knew that. And then what happened is, I figured, gee whiz, at the bris, I'll wear the red tie, And ever since then, I wear.
Just tell a couple stories about your grandchildren and
When you
memorable
when you
stories?
Go to New York and take them to Macy's.
It was wonderful years, I guess. We discussed that the other day. They had a visiting person who discussed, did most people feel, the question was, that you really had a very happy life before you came here, and was really wonderful things, or is it better now? And people really gave it a lot of thought. Was it better then, or is it good now?
And
Obviously, it was better then.
maybe it's both.
Well,
It's different.
it was different. Part of it, as some people pointed out, and I did, then I had my whole family. I didn't have to look for a babysitter, or my mother didn't have. When I was little, my mother didn't have to look for a babysitter. She went next door, and there was her sister, or a block away was her mother, and it was really, family was much closer and much better. We didn't have to go far or wide. Nobody went away, and that's what made it better.
What was the angriest you were ever at any one of your children? Do you remember when you got most upset at them?
When he kicked the door and broke the window.
Then he ran away.
Then he ran away.
Then Richard got angry, he made a hole in the cellar door, you remember? You don't remember? And then he ran away. And then I drove a little bit and I found him. And I have to admit, he was so contrite, he was so crying and so sorry, you know what I mean? He says, I said, Richard, people lose their temper. It's
Just like
over
him.
and done with. You know what I mean?
And today he's almost president of Temple Isaiah.
He really developed. But you asked about when you were young, how Grandma used to take you into come into New York and walk over to Macy's. Tell the story.
You lost your shoe. Always on 34th Street, and everyone was saying, "Lady, he lost his shoe," and you purposely did that. You used to kick off your shoes, and I had to stop in the middle of traffic, and everyone said, "Lady, he lost his shoe." Oh, yeah.
And then I remember, before that, I remember when Richard used to come up to Macy's, and he would sit there and sit on the floor with his feet, with the knee like a yoga. I don't know how he did that.
Oh,
Yeah.
God, all those days are gone. Maybe they were better days.
Just a couple more questions, and then we'll wrap it up for now. What about your grandchildren? Did they ever get in trouble? Any of them? Did you ever yell at them, or did?
Only when
Did you
you
ever-
threw the hat down of Ezra's. I'll never forgive you.
Tell that story a little.
You took his hat off, his Yankee hat, and threw it down the drain, and the boy cried for days, and you were so happy. I mean, the way he took it off, he went, oh,
Ezra,
God.
I'll never
I think
forget.
that was the meanest thing you ever did. You did
When I
it with
was-
such meanness.
When I used to take you
And
guys
he cried, remember?
home from Schechter, I think the worst fighting was Jonathan and Ezra. Maybe you and Ezra. But you know, when you're driving and there's two pain in the necks in the back, yelling and screaming and fighting, it would drive me crazy. But I figured the boys are
We
boys.
survived somehow.
What can I do about
I'm gonna write a book.
Who's gonna write
Your
a book?
granddaughters.
Oh.
And then Rena would always be in the back with Max, laughing and laughing and laughing.
Hey, how did he get so big?
Laughing
now?
at Ezra and Jonathan
No,
fighting,
no.
or
Of
just
course they're
no
separate occasions.
separate.
Ask them about his granddaughters.
She's pretty bad. I was sitting with her before.
This is not for the record, this is
Huh?
Pearl, she's talking about Pearl.
Did you was there any something immoral or unethical that you did in order to affect your own advancement in life?
No.
Did you ever pay
I
a
don't
bribe?
think so, but even if I did, why would I tell you?
Well, I was gonna say, do you regret it, or?
I don't think so. I think I fairly good, had a good reputation in the legal field. I really
No,
feel
he wouldn't do it.
that I would, and I always expected that of other attorneys, and I would say 90% of the time, 95% of the time, I was satisfied. I think the important thing, I always felt that if you're honest with another lawyer, he would treat you the same way. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And I really always tried very hard.
Who was, I guess in summary, tell us what the biggest changes in the world are, not so much materially, but as communities, and Grandma mentioned that everybody was closer family-wise back then, and you
The
could go
internet.
next door.
It's the
What else has changed, do you
The
think?
internet.
The internet?
Technology is unbelievable.
Oh yeah, that's actually a good question too. So internet.
Credit to me.
But at the, yeah.
Well, Arena had a good idea, which who was your role models?
I
Who
don't
did you
have
guys
any.
idolize?
No one.
I don't
Growing
think
up.
I had any.
I didn't have any.
Honestly, yeah.
Oh.
Certainly not my father. I never saw him. He was always working.
Also my father. My father would get up at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning,
Go to the butcher.
go to the market, buy his meat, and then come home about 6, 7 o'clock, have a glass of scotch, have dinner, take a bath first, then go to sleep.
And do it
And I
all over.
swear to God, I never heard him wake up unless I had a cold or didn't feel well. Otherwise, I never heard him get up in the
We
morning.
didn't have role models. Who would I have?
What
Maybe the only role model who I really adored was Eleanor Roosevelt.
Eleanor?
Oh, I loved her.
Why did you love her so?
She's such a vital woman. So bright. She ran, as they used to say, she was Roosevelt's feet, went all over the world. She's just a remarkable woman. I really,
A
I
great
think
humanitarian.
wasn't she?
She was a great humanitarian.
Yes, great humanitarian.
All told, I think she was my favorite. If I would pick anyone, I would pick Eleanor. Would you?
Grandpa, who is your favorite American politician or leader?
Well, in those days, Roosevelt, but years later when I discovered that he did not do as much as he could for Jewish people, I was a little disappointed. I guess Thomas Jefferson I always liked very much, and Lincoln.
Go see the movie.
You're not that old, are you?
Huh?
No,
You're not that old.
Well, I mean, oh, you're talking about the living
I'm
people.
just saying. No, but that's
Also,
Jefferson.
Adlai Stevenson, who ran for president against Eisenhower. I was very
With the
impressed by
hole
him.
in the shoe, remember?
Oh yeah, the
sole
hole in the shoe.
did
He had the hole in the shoe.
So,
Oh, yeah, Adlai
He used to
Stevenson.
keep his feet up, and the bottom of his shoe had holes in it.
Very good, yes.
because he was a hard worker.
I
Was
don't
he
know, I
trying
guess
to?
he never
he
noticed.
had no time for those.
Was he married?
I think so.
I think he was divorced.
He had no time for unimportant things
Yeah,
like
oh,
fixing
shoes.
his shoe.
Pretend now that 50 years down the road, people are watching this, and not people, but your great great grandchildren, your great
Oh,
great
when?
great grandchildren.
Halavai, when?
Halavai,
I'll
Halavai.
never live to see
What
it.
this is the time where you can expound on some of the more important values that you think help shape your life.
I don't want to tell you what they are.
And what advice, either advice you have for future generations, or what values you think help make our family
That's the
so.
question they asked us, Cheryl. And my answer was, Cheryl. You know your friend Cheryl? Went around from table to table asking all the adults as girl what they thought.
And
She liked my answer best of all.
and what was your answer?
People should get married before.
Before?
Yeah.
Oh,
The morals are gross.
gross morals. So morality.
Morality.
My advice is be a mensch. Just be a decent human
No
being.
matter what you do.
I'm serious. That's all I ask of anybody. Be a mensch.
What do you think a mensch is?
A person who's, and let me make clear, I don't consider myself a great mensch. I've made a lot of, stupid things. But just somebody who's nice to other people, does good things, and just, I don't know how to describe it, but when you see a person who's nice and who's really a mensch, you know who he is. I once had an Uncle Willie, who I always felt was a mensch. He was a nice man, he was decent, he was good to other people, and that's all I think a person should be.
My mother used to say that about Bobby Stein. She used to like the way he walked up the block. Remember?
He was a mensch.
And Herb Lip.
Anything else?
No, that's
Yeah.
it.
What
I'm
else?
saying bye now, so
Do you-
you have to put it on hold.
Well,
for
say
a second.
goodbye. You can be
Put it
on camera.
hold.
Just go. Say
No,
goodbye.
put it on hold.
Say goodbye.
Goodbye.
I'm going to take a walk before it
Go.
gets dark. All right?
Okay.
Goodbye. We'll see you
Thank you for
December
listening.
9th. Robin had got the list.
I told her what to buy.
I want you to tell her. She's
Ellen?
in charge. Robin's in charge.
What day is that?
It's a Sunday. Don't worry, it will surround
December-
the Giant game. 9th.
December 8th,
9th.
9th, okay.
Don't worry, it will be worked out around the Giant game, so.
It's the first day of Hanukkah.
Correct.
Is the Giant game? Is Sunday?
No,
Let's
Sunday
go
the night
home.
that we're having a hot.
Did,
Ohio State
are there
is
any
undefeated.
Huh?
any
Ohio State's undefeated.
any final?
What did you tell me that for?
Oh, you would.
I didn't watch the game because of this.
Oh, you taped it?
No, the
They
game's
won?
not over.
They won?
I'm not telling you.
You just said they're undefeated. Yeah, I hate
Oh,
you.
you made a big mistake.
Wait, who
Wait a
was
minute, I
on?
thought you tape it?
You know.
I can't tape it. I can't watch the game.
Now he's
So
angry.
what's the difference?
Now he's
You
angry.
can't watch it anyway.
What score?
Is there a message you would like to give to my
Wait a minute,
father?
how would you go? How would you? Were you gonna
You
watch
ruined
it?
his whole day.
Wait a minute, you're gonna watch it?
I can't watch it. I don't have a
So
tape.
what? So what are we gonna do? Find out when you go home?
What score?
You ruined his whole day.
How can I ruin his
He
whole
happened to
day?
be, if he
Wait a
wasn't, if
minute.
he didn't tape it,
If
how
you
would he
didn't
know?
tape it,
You're right. What's the score?
I once did that to him,
Wait.
and he didn't.
They're undefeated?
Yeah, but they're not. They're ineligible for Big Ten and BCS.
Why?
because some of their players sold some
Moved it
stuff
all
to a.
how?
Really?
Put on
They
television.
saw-
And do.
No, you're right. They sold some stuff to somebody for money. I don't know. What score?
I don't know.
26-20, 26-21.
Really?
Yeah.
So it was close.
They
huh?
how did they lose? They must have been like so they're 12-0, but did they play good teams also?
Well, they played a regular. Yeah, they had a good schedule, but
Where's Mario?
That's
Huh?
I don't know.
but they were ineligible
What is-
for
So that-
anything.
yeah, that's unbelievable. They were
Phyllis, come see me one day.
they
Okay.
at
That's a
Michigan
good time.
8.
Huh?
Ouch,
Everyone.
it's still
Well,
running.
anyway, all right. So anything final you want to say? And this is your free.
This is like